Everybody, it's your boy Carlos here,
And Joseph,
and this is the
the
passenger
passenger
seat.
seat. All right, welcome back, riders, to another week in the passenger seat. We are finally in December. Yikes! 2021 went by really quick.
It did. It's crazy to think that it's still not over. You know, I feel like it's still not back to normal.
I know. I don't think it ever will be. But let's move on from the moodier topics. It's December. December. It's the month.
It's December, Christmas time.
Christmas time. And it being Christmas time, we decided to go into our Christmas themed videos. And starting off this month, we're going to be talking about the toys of Christmas.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a little bit about nostalgic toys from the 90s and early 2000s. And we're going to talk about toys that we got growing up during Christmas.
Because what better thing about Christmas than toys?
Yes, that's absolutely
And as you
right.
can see, I love toys.
I do too. I've got a bunch of collectibles that I still don't have. I'm still working on the setup of a small office sort of studio to record in my apartment.
Yeah. So it's crazy how when we get older, they no longer become toys; they become collectibles, and you can't touch them anymore. You sort of have to leave them there.
Yeah, but I think that also has to do with the whole collectible craze that's just gotten out of control in the past couple of years. But going into our topic, let's go ahead and jump into nostalgic Christmas toys and toys that we got as kids growing up during Christmas. So we're going to start off with the 90s, and then we're going to talk about early 2000s. So, Carlos, what were some toys that you remember from the early 90s?
Do you remember those Power Rangers that their heads, and it would have the helmet, and then they would flip again, and it'd be a normal human face?
Yeah, I do. Ah,
Yeah.
that takes me back. Yeah, I remember a lot of those.
I had a couple of those, and they're pretty good. I think Power Rangers was a big deal for me in the 90s, so I had a lot of that. But that's one of the toys that I remember the most. And obviously Hot Wheels and a lot of Pokemon figures.
Yeah, a lot of Pokemon
figures. The little ones like this. The ones that don't move.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So things that I remember not personally getting, but like I remember them very fondly from the 90s were things like Tamagotchis. You remember those?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We had.
I've never had one, but I've had people who killed them.
Oh God. No, I don't remember having one. I remember having like the knockoffs, like I think Sonic Adventure Battle had it where you could connect this like memory card to the Dreamcast and you could carry your little
for the chaos.
Yeah, for the chows.
Oh, the chows. Yeah.
Chows. Yeah. So you could carry your little chows around. I remember that one, and it was so annoying because you'd have to find those like circular batteries that you couldn't find anywhere. If your battery ran out.
And you know, I think they still make them too.
Oh yeah, the Tamagotchis or the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think so, maybe, or at least they keep making that sort of style of virtual pet.
I think it's still going though. Like I think that hasn't died. That pet thing. I think it really brought a big attraction to people.
Yeah. Other than the Tamagotchis, I remember the Game Boy Color fondly. I did. I don't think I had one. Did I have one personally? I don't think so. I think my first handheld was actually a Game Boy Advance. But I do remember having access to Game Boy Colors, and Game Boy Colors was huge, because obviously the early Pokemon games, red, blue, yellow, all that stuff is very fond to me.
No, I remember the Game Boy Color. I think that was my first handheld.
Dang. So yeah, what other toys do I remember? I remember things like Stretch Armstrong, the Sky Dancers, the one that were like Beyblades that you pulled them and they flew up into the sky.
Damn, that's like.
Oh, right. Beanie Babies. You remember Beanie Babies?
Oh dang!
Some
Beanie
of them
Babies
are
is
worth a lot
old
of
though.
money. Yeah, some of them are worth a lot of money right now.
Yeah, they are.
And obviously, continuing with Pokemon stuff, Pokemon cards were hit. I remember that when Pokemon cards came out, not so much today, but like back when it first came out, Pokemon cards was like a huge craze.
Oh, I had a bunch of them. I had like the folder that was like a big stack.
Yeah, me too.
I should have kept them.
I know. Jeez. I think I remember I had a binder of them, and then like I think when I moved as a kid, and it was a big move, and we had to get rid of everything. So I remember I did like this sort of quote unquote garage sale, and I took all the cards and I marked them with Sharpie. I put like on the actual card, I wrote like 10 cents or 25 cents. And then it was terrible. It was terrible because first of all, I damaged the card completely, and then I sold it off to other kids in the block.
Yeah, I didn't. As a kid, when I had the Pokemon cards, I didn't understand the value. For me, they was just cards,
Yeah, but then again, you never knew that they were gonna. You never expected them to go up as much as they did, or like collectability value to go up as much as it did.
It's very beautiful thing when you're a kid because you don't care about the price of things. For you, a toy is a toy.
Yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, all right. So, do you like fondly remember getting a gift during the 90s? Like not early 2000s, like the 90s.
Oh, I remember getting a lot of the 90s. What was I getting? Ooh, I don't know why the 90s is hard for me to remember what I got.
I mean, you were really young, so.
Yeah, I remember what I wanted. I remember I really wanted the Street Sharks, and I never got them.
Oh wow, I remember that. Yeah.
Do you remember those?
I remember Street Sharks. Yeah. Dang, that's old.
Yeah.
Man, for me, honestly, I kind of remember like memories that I have back when I, used to live in the States when I was a kid was I remember this one time my godfather, he brought me this crazy Gundam toy. Like it was huge, dude. It was huge. It was like that. It was like a statue. Sorry, I can't do this for scale. It was like that big. It was huge. And me as a kid, I thought it was really cool. I had no idea what the heck a Gundam was, but yeah,
that's a lot for a kid.
It is a lot for a kid, yeah. But that's probably one of the things I remember the most for Christmas. I think I may have received some Pokemon stuff, but I can't pinpoint exactly like, oh, this Christmas I got something of Pokemon, So I'm not really going to mention that.
Yeah, I think for me when I was young, me and my brother used to share so many toys. So when we had the Pokemon toys, we had almost all of the first gen.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned the Pokemon toys, the most Pokemon stuff I got, I think, was like obviously outside of Christmas. I still remember things like the Pokemon stuff that they did like in McDonald's or Burger King as like the Happy Meal toys.
Yeah.
But we'll have to save that one for another video. Anyways, rolling into the 2000s, early 2000s, some of the toys of early 2000s that you can remember.
So I remember in the early 2000s, since me and my friends were so into anime and all this cartoons and stuff, we were really into action figures with articulation, which is something I wasn't really into as a kid. But once you got a little bit older as a kid, you liked the movement of the action figures. And I do remember a lot of action figures with articulation, like Marvel and DC and things like that. I had a Superman figure. And it was about battle scenes when I got older, So a lot of action figures.
Cool. All right. Well, things that I remember from the 2000s. I remember there was a big Bratz craze.
Yeah.
You remember Bratz?
Those things.
I don't either. I remember the iPod. Technically that's not a toy, but everyone wanted an iPod. In the early 2000s because the music and stuff, MP3 players and whatnot was becoming super popular. You remember
definitely the Game Boy.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance. Do you remember Razer Scooters? I think that's still a thing.
I remember I used to hit my ankles.
Yeah, I remember. I think like for some weird reason, every single kid that I knew, including myself, got one.
Yeah, I remember the pain. I was like, oh.
What color was yours? Do you remember?
Well, I had one that was green.
I think mine was red.
Oh, my brother had blue. That would have been funny.
Yeah, we would all been together, just RGB. That's funny. Oh, yeah.
I do remember with the thing you mentioned with the guys who spin and they go to the top. Early 2000s was Blade, bro.
Beyblade. I was about to mention that. Yeah. Beyblades. We also had. I'm gonna save the best for last. But we had Beyblades. We had Tech Deck.
Oh dang!
Tech Decks.
The little things that look like thumbs.
No. Tech Decks were the skateboards where you put your 2 fingers on.
Yeah, but then they started creating toys, and there were thumbs.
Yeah,
that would go on top of the Tech Decks. I remember that.
But I think that came a little later. Yeah. But
it wasn't that late, like 2004.
Anyways, Tech Decks. We also had. You remember these things called hit clips? They were like these little keychains that you put on that had like it was like a little radio or a CD player, and then like it had like a little album of the music that the thing would play.
Yeah, I didn't have one, but I remember it.
Yeah, dang, dude, that takes me back.
Yeah, that does take me back.
And obviously, we had one of the most memorable things. I don't know, so much. Yeah, you too. I remember you told me about it. Yu-Gi-Oh cards came out in the early 2000s.
Oh,
us, at
dude,
least in the States.
I thought you were gonna say Bionicles.
Oh, Bionicles! Dang! I have so many Bionicles. Dang, that's crazy. You just unlocked a piece of my memory I forgot about.
That's the good thing about toys, man.
Yeah, they really do take you back. But yeah, I remember Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Specifically, I didn't get any for Christmas per se. But yeah, I just figured that was something to mention since so many people got into Yu-Gi-Oh. There's such a big Yu-Gi-Oh boom.
Oh yeah.
In the early 2000s.
It's funny enough how our generation is the one who started with the cards.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh Magic. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Man, as far as Christmas gifts go in early 2000s for me, I don't really remember too much. I know my family wasn't too big, like, on me playing like card games. Not that they were like one of these believers of card games equals demonic stuff. Because I remember that
the pictures.
Yeah, I remember there was a little craze like that. It was more of like I spent so much time indulging in card games and stuff and not paying too much attention to my classes. So my parents weren't so much about it. I think it was more of like a video gaming console. That's what they usually gifted me for Christmas and stuff.
I would agree that starting in the early 2000s, as you progressively get older, you started becoming more like the PlayStation, the GameCube.
Yeah.
More electronics like the iPod, and like you wanted more stuff like that. Then you started letting go of all the toys.
Yeah. It became more mature in a sense and more with the fad of like electronics and how things were becoming so much more advanced.
Yeah, I think when I started getting back into action figures, I think it was like when I was like in high school at that point to collect them.
Yeah. I never really remember. I don't think I collected figures when I was growing up just because I couldn't afford them. We could never really afford them like that, but yeah.
Now I have adult money and I buy adult things.
Right. I can't wait to get my little section set up here in the apartment because I really want to set that up, real nice and everything with all the collectibles and stuff. But yeah. So as far as 2000s Christmas gifts or early 2000s, do you remember anything particular that you got?
It's very hard for me to remember. Again, it was a lot of like toys with a lot of articulation. I remember getting Teen Titans when that was a big thing and stuff like that. But it was started getting older. I really started getting into like music. I had a CD player. I remember that. I used to listen to trap.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of the iPod, I think my
not
dad.
not trap the music genre. If I'm
Right,
not
right, right.
confusing people. It's a band.
Right. Trapped. TRAPT.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know what? I think my dad got me an iPod for Christmas when I was like 12 or 13. I think I remember because I got it, and it was. I remember the first iPod was just so like. It was big and it was like thick,
Yeah, it was.
and you had the like wheel that you'd like touch, and then you'd spin, and then you could click the wheel too, and the middle.
I didn't have that one though. I had the Nano.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I got. It was purple.
Yeah.
I would like to say that, and Joseph knows, having toys is a really big part of me. It was a big part of my childhood. It's a big part of who I am now. I really like figures. I respect them more now as I got older. I respect the articulation, the makers, how much work they put into it, the statues they create. Honestly, like, I know your kids out there love the iPads and stuff like that, but please get them toys. I feel like it really builds their imagination.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of that too. You know, I see these 6 and 7-year-olds walking around with either, their smartphones or tablets or thing like that. And I get it. You want to be like tech forward, but at the same time, it's so good to, develop the imagination of your child. And I think they lose that a lot when it comes to the tech world, because everything is so simplified with tech.
Yeah.
You know, you have to give them a chance to actually, make their brain work a little bit more past the tech, past letting technology
definitely
help them think, But yeah, I totally agree with you. Anyways, hopefully for you viewers watching, hopefully you heard something within the toys that we were talking about that reminded you of something that you got growing up, or things that you remember seeing, things that you remember wanting. Make sure to comment down below. Tell us what you got for Christmas in the in the 90s or in the early 2000s, and
what you can remember.
Or you can remember. Anyways, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to our video. If you enjoyed our content, it would help us out a lot. And yeah, if you enjoyed this today, then make sure to check out our other content. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, this ride with us, and hopefully you'll join us next time here in
The passenger seat.